So a rabbi once gets a call from someone in the congregation and says, Rabbi, we must meet right away. So they come to the rabbi's office. The rabbi says, how can we help you? How can I help you? The parents. Which says, our child became crazy. So what happened? He said, oh my God, he wants to make the house kosher. He wants to go to the synagogue on the Sabbath. He wants to pray every morning. So they say, Rabbi tells him, so you mean to say I'm crazy also? He says, I do all that. He says, no, Rabbi, you don't understand. You do it because you get paid for it, that's your job. He actually really believes it. Now, usually when I say a joke, I have people laughing, so hopefully you'll laugh where you are. The reason I'm saying this joke, because something like this happened to me this week. I got a call from someone. I wonder if you ever experienced the same thing that I had this week. I got a call from someone, he says, Rabbi, I must tell you, something was bothering me. I said that you did. And I shared this with my family. And after a few days, it still bothered me. They said, why don't you call the rabbi and tell him yourself? So I said, what's bothering you about me? He says, I know you got on TV, you were in the newspaper and said, all services should stop, everyone should be home, pray at home, and the community shouldn't get together. And you don't follow your own advice. You preach one thing, you do it because you get paid for it, but you really don't live by it. So what do you mean? He says, so they say, I saw you on last Sabbath on 87th Avenue, you walking to synagogue with your son. I said, you're right. But you should know that when I went to the synagogue, I was the only one who came to synagogue. No one else was allowed because I have a key. And I wanted to pray in a synagogue, but no one else came. There was no services. I didn't invite anyone. So what happened to me, I'm sure happened to many of you. But I have a little secret for you. I've done the same thing to other people. I've seen a story, a certain person behaves a certain way, and we come to a snap judgment about what the person, it means that story. If this rabbi does something, oh, this is what it means. If this politician does something, oh, this is what it means. If this businessman does something, oh, this is why he's doing it. And we automatically make judgments about people based on their actions. Oh, they got divorced. Oh, this is the reason why they got divorced. We always judge other people. Now, when it happens to ourselves, it's hurtful. I remember hearing this story once of this father going on a train with a few young children. And the children were running around hitting people. So this individual was sitting on the train really annoyed. If you're a father and you're going to bring kids to the world, take care of your kids. If you're going to travel with your kids on the train, don't run around and disturb other people on the train. And he's watching it 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and the father's like completely oblivious. So finally, after 20 minutes, he's so frustrated, he goes over to him and says, I don't understand. Don't you see what your kids are doing? You're insensitive to the other people on the train? So he looks up to him with tears in his eyes and says, I apologize. Their mother just passed away. I'm heading back from the hospital. My mind is elsewhere. I'll do everything I can to calm my kids down. Do you know how small that person felt? You know how bad the person felt? Why did I judge him that this story means something? Now my question is, it gets done to us many times, and let's be honest, we do this a lot of times to other people. How do we get past it? So I'm not going to say we completely get past it, but I think our Torah gives us some messages of how we could work on ourselves, and hopefully other people work on themselves, that we can get past this judgment of other people. We see them doing something, in our mind this means a certain thing. In our Torah portion, it tells us about different laws of purity and impurity, and one of the laws it tells us, if a person has a tsaras, he has a blemish on his skin, so he goes to the Kohen, to the priest. The Kohen looks at the blemish, and if he sees that it follows all the rules and laws of the blemish, of a tsaras, he says he is tamei, he's impure, and then he has to be quarantined, and for 7 days. There's a whole bunch of laws that pertain to this person. What happens if the Kohen in our town the priest in our town is not learned enough, that knows all the rules and laws? Then you go to the rabbi. And the rabbi looks at the blemish, and the rabbi determines if the person is pure or impure. But here is the kicker. The rabbi is not the one that could actually say pure and impure. The rabbi has to tell it to the Kohen, and the Kohen has to be the one to say it. Now, is that logical? I understand a lot of times, when you go to the doctor's office and you take a test, the technician can't tell you, even though they may understand it, what it is. Benign, malignant, or whatever the test is about. You got to wait for the doctor to come. The doctor is the only one who could say what it is. But the technician is knowledgeable enough to say it. But obviously the doctor is even more knowledgeable. Here it's the opposite. The Kohen, the priest, doesn't know the laws. Only the rabbi in this particular case knows the laws, but the Kohen has to be the one to say the words impure. Why? Listen to what the rabbis explain. Something so beautiful, something so true, something so deep. The rabbis say it like this. What is a Kohen? A Kohen is a priest. The Kohen's job in the temple was to lead, bring the sacrifices, pray on behalf of the Jewish people. Like we know even to today, the Kohen is in the synagogue, stands on the bima, blesses the community. By a wedding, a lot of times you say, let the Kohen come up and bless. A Kohen is supposed to be a person of love and care. It says a Kohen is Isha Chesed, the person that's kind, a person that has love. So the rabbis explain to us what the Torah is telling us. When you're about to tell someone that they're impure, when you're about to quarantine a person, when you're about to tell a person right now you can't be part of the Jewish community, you have to make sure it comes from a person that really has tremendous love for the other person. The person cares about the other person. Then you know that when the person's saying something, it's not coming because I don't like the person. Aha! I can get him to be punished. Aha! So excited. Now this guy is going to have a hard life. No, it comes from a place of love and care. You know, a lot of times you tell your child, when I'm punishing you, it hurts me more than it hurts you. Now, when we're kids, we think our parents just say it because it's a nice line. But we know as parents, when we have to do tough love, it's very painful to us. But it comes from a place of love. So we know usually a healthy parent will do it because they really tried everything, they gave the benefit of doubt, they did everything, and this is the best thing for them. So the Torah tells us, if you want to judge another person, the first thing is we have to ask ourselves, am I judging him? Do I really love this person? Because let's be honest with ourselves. I see this so much in life. If you like one political party, whatever the other political party does is 100% wrong. If you like one particular rabbi and dislike the other rabbi, whatever that rabbi does is wrong. No. But in this particular case, he was really wrong. Or if you don't like a certain person, interesting. You read something online. If you don't know who wrote it, you may say it's nice. As soon as you see who wrote it, that you don't like that person, it could be an individual and you're a friend, can't stand what he said. So in order for us to work on ourselves, to not be judging other people to the negative always, we have to work on ourselves and ask ourselves, I judge the person. Do I really care about the person? Do I really love the person? If I don't really love the person, if I really don't care about the person, then I shouldn't judge them. Because then I know that my judgment is not 100% clear. And the Torah tells us that. Who is the person that could really say impure? Is a Kohen, a person that comes from love and it comes from care. This is something that's so important. While we're all sitting in our homes and we have time to think and time to meditate, let's be honest with ourselves and true to ourselves. And ask ourselves, number one, we should always judge a person favorably. That's the number one thing. You know this joke they tell about a father. Someone met his parents and they said, tell me, I know your son got married, your daughter got married. How was their marriages? My son, miserable marriage. My daughter, the best marriage. He says, tell me, explain to me why. He says, my son, he got married, the woman is lazy, she doesn't want to work. In the morning, he has to get up and feed the kids, and then by day, he works so hard all day, and then all she does is go to gyms, and does her nails, and does her hair, and then she hangs out with her friends, and plays mahjong. I don't mean to knock any of that. And then at night, he comes home, he has to cook the dinner, he has to put the kids to sleep, and all she does is ask for this, and ask for that, and he has to provide so much for her. He says, oh my God, it sounds terrible. Tell me about your daughter's marriage. My daughter's married. Beautiful. What's so beautiful? What a husband. In the morning, he tells her, I want you to sleep in, and you could relax. And then during the day, she could go to play mahjong, and she could go to the nails, and she could go to Starbucks, and she could go to the gym and do all this stuff. And at night, he comes home right away. He helps her. He makes dinner. He takes care of her. And whatever she needs, she gets. Obviously, I don't have to explain the message of the story. Depends who you really love. If you love your son, then you're judging the other person with him. If you love your daughter, you judge them. That's the way it typically is. So what really we need to work on ourselves is more love and more care for other people. And then we will know that when we come to, if we do a judgment, in general it's not good to judge. I'm not the judging. But then when we started thinking, we know we'll do a better job of giving them the benefit of the doubt. Because when you really care about someone, you say, you have to understand, and you kind of give them the benefit of the doubt more often than not. And in general, we should know, most of the time, we really don't know the true part of the story. And that's why in Ethics of Our Father, which we read now in Shabbos, it says, what does it say? It says, always give a person the benefit of the doubt. Because even if the person did the story the way you really think it is, you understand where he came from and what he went through and all that. And that's a very, very important message. And you know what they say? What you don't like to be done to yourself, don't do to other people. Nobody likes to be judged incorrectly. So let's stop judging other people. Let's always think of people in the positive, think people in love, think people with care, and then the world will be a more holier place, a more beautiful place, a more loving place. And we start loving other people more, then we start loving ourselves more. And when we love ourselves, we start loving other people. I want to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom.